O Show. This is the Big 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 O Show.
There's just one place to get our lowest payment on a new Acura Integra. $229 a month. It's the Season of Performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines, #1 in the USA.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moodias Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moodias Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodias.dental. Moodias Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodiasdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
It's game day at Toyota of Hollywood. Our All-Stars are here to give you our MVP experience. Join the fun and feast on discounts up to $4,500. Huddle up and score big on a 25 Corolla. Not $26,000, $17,988. It's a tailgate party you don't want to miss. So gobble up the savings at the #1 volume Toyota dealer. Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Set the rhythm of your smart home with Sloman Shield Blink, the new integrated smart home platform that automates your life just the way you want it. Sloman Shield Blink. Be the maestro of your own home.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
Price, service, selection. Get all this and more at South Florida's #1 loved Subaru store. Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Save today with our 3 ways to save. 0% financing, 0 down payment, or make no payments for 90 days. From Subaru of Pembroke Pines.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rayom can help.
There's just one place to get our lowest payment on a new Acura ADX. $239 a month. It's the Season of Performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines, #1 in the USA.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
All righty, baby. Good afternoon on a beautiful Thursday from Hialeah Park. It is January 22nd, 2026. We are live here at the Poker Room. That's what she said. Having some fun. You can see all the games, sporting events, gamble on all the races around the country, eat, drink. Ladies will bring you food. All of that here in the Poker Room, and smoke free too. And it is day number 18,998 since the Miami Dolphins were world champions. It's also day number 8,781 since the Miami Hurricanes were national champions. Welcome aboard, Sean Stanley, of course, the man, the myth, the legend, mastering the platform as he always does. Welcome to one and all over the world or wherever you're tuning in, whatever time of day or night. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button. Always smash the like button. Videos, live, all that stuff helps the algorithms. And, of course, the notification bell. That way you know exactly when we go live. You'll get the notification that we are live, all the way live. Don't even have to walk. Don't even have to talk. Just slide, slippity slide. Just forget about your troubles in your 9 to 5. Just sail on. That's what you do. Just sail on. And then you cruise on to us. You sail on. Anyway, welcome aboard. All right. We've got, of course, the pressers that we've been waiting for from Jon-Eric Sullivan. Wait, I'm sorry. Jon-Eric Sullivan and Jeff Hafley, for those of you that watched the press conference. That owner is a goofball. The owner had to look at his notes to be reminded of the GM's name. Welcome up. Jon-Eric Sullivan. A pause. He had to look at his notes. Oh, yeah, the guy's name's Jon-Eric Sullivan. You know, and in Ross's short discussion, which, you know, he should have just introduced and left. It would have been better off for Ross because he's such a goofball. He goes, oh, I knew he was our guy. And I'm like, but like, yeah, 10 minutes in, you knew he was your guy, but you don't know his name? You know. So, yeah. The mic was just absolutely the Dolphins. Hey, let's go. $1 billion organization. Billions of dollars. Okay? And they can't get a damn press conference right, dude. Did you guys not run a test or something? They had the mic on a voice activation mode. It would pause on any pauses, and then when you start again, it would cut off the first word. They had voice activation on their live mic. Like, who's in charge there, dude? What are you doing? Wow. It's just baffling to me that could actually happen with a big time organization. Such a, like, come on, man. We broadcast from everywhere, dude, and we find a way of getting it done. And there are times, obviously, there are technical issues, and most of the time it's really out of our control because it's some internet issue or something. But it's like, come on, man. You know, you got one job. Get the press conference right. Whoever it is, like, Jesus Christ, dude. That's some cheesy shit, man. You know, that's an important day for those guys and for the organization. And so you want it to sound good and all that. It just, wow. Bad.
That was Jon-Eric Sullivan. That's
yes.
his name, right? Jon-Eric Sullivan.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Jon-Eric Sullivan.
Thank you.
Okay.
I would make head roll. That'd be my first thing as soon as the press conference was over. I'd have been like, who was supposed to set this up? Yep, you're out. See you later. Done.
Sure. Oh, that's you're fired.
We're a winning culture now.
Yes. You got to go orangutan style here. You're fired. Jesus Christ, dude. How cheesy is that damn organization? Anyway, so we'll go over the stuff they talked about. We'll talk about what I liked, what you should be concerned about. Because there is, you know, there was something there that I saw that I would be a little bit concerned about. We'll get into that. Overall, there are some good things. There are a lot of good things that came out of the press conference. But in the end, listen, none of us know if these guys are going to be any good. They might be terrible. They might be fantastic. They might be average. I told you also yesterday, right?
maybe only one of the two are any good. All of you gotta kind of as Neil Rogers dropped from years ago, all of these things. You gotta be open to all of these things. You've just gotta take a step back, whether you like them or not, whether you believe in them or not. None of us really know if these guys are going to be any good. And look, one thing that I did like that, you heard is that Jon-Eric Sullivan was told by Stephen Ross, you will not fail at this job because you didn't have resources. So there you go. You're going to have, he's always given the resources. So it's up to John. Wait, hold on. Jon-Eric Sullivan and Jeff Hafley. It's up to Jon-Eric Sullivan and Jeff Hafley to figure it out, and we'll see if they're any good. We have no idea. None of us really know. But to take a negative stance right away, what does that help? So to me, that doesn't help in any way, shape, or form, because all you're doing is putting yourself in a negative light or a negative attitude towards something that you're kind of ignorant about. So let's give these guys a chance. We'll find out in a couple years. We're going to find out where we're at. Okay? A couple years, we should know whether they made the right decision or they didn't. They said all the right things overall. Now it's about them going out there to prove that they can get it done. And listen, I'll tell you this right from the get-go. Holy shit. I'm at least my wife and my daughter aren't going to walk by and go, oh, I can't listen to that man anymore. At least Jeff Hafley sounds like a human being, like a man, like he has authority. He has control of his diction. This is a guy that is actually he knows what he's about to say, and he doesn't have to think about it and have pregnant pauses and ums and uhs and your nose and all rights. And I'm just like, wow, I'm happy about that. I'm happy that at least you got a guy up there that can talk on the podium, because it was painful to have to go through Mike McDaniel press conferences. It got to the point where I did not look forward to. I told you guys I was eliminating pregame last year for next year. I wasn't doing pregame. You're bringing back Mike McDaniel. I'm not wasting my time. I was just going to do postgame, and that's it, dude. I was going to eliminate pregame. There's no reason for me, if you were going to bring back Mike McDaniel, screw that, bro. And so I'm glad that you made the complete change. I'm glad that Jon-Eric Sullivan hired his guy, because in that press conference, he talked about how he had somebody in mind. He told them, but he wanted to go through the process and all that BS. But in the end, he was going to hire the devil he knows, not the devil he doesn't know. And that's the way things are. And I get it. And I have no problem with that. You want to surround yourself with people that that think like you and can get it done. So obviously he feels that he could get it done. And two, he has the same kind of philosophy. So those two things can coexist. And I think that that's really, really important. Can they get it done? We'll see. We'll see. But give it a chance. That's all I'm saying. Give it a chance. Before you start ripping, before you start non-believing, okay? Before you say it's a failed hire, before you say it's a bad coach, before you say he's a bad GM, okay? Let's actually give them a couple of years here to actually prove to us, because Lord knows we need a good one. We haven't had one in decades. So, and by the way, there have been too many chefs in the kitchen over the years. This time it seems like one chef made the call of the head coach. And maybe that works, maybe it doesn't. We'll find out. But I'm not going to take a negative stance like, oh, these guys are going to be a failure. Yes, sir.
When Jon-Eric Sullivan was thanking people, he said Hafley, right? Is that related, Jeff Hafley?
No, Hatley.
Oh, Hatley. Oh, okay.
Chicago Bears.
Oh, okay.
He's passed away. He passed away, Mike Hatley.
Yes.
He was part of like the sexy Rexy teams and all that.
I thought he said Hafley. That's why I thought there was even more. Okay.
Hatley is the other guy that he was talking about from the Bears.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, I only caught glimpses of it. So, but I thought he had said. So I thought there was even more of a.
Yeah,
connection
Hadley's a,
there,
a,
but
a
okay.
well-known personnel guy. That was a good personnel guy in this league. He did good work, and obviously had an influence also on Jon-Eric Sullivan. Listen. It was kind of, there was a lot of reminiscing for him and thanking all those people and all that kind of stuff. And I'm happy for him, you know what I mean? But it's good to know for the writers, so they can put everything in context of where he comes from and all that kind of stuff. So people can, kind of design their stories and all that. But for me, it was more about, let's get to the substance of everything. Not using my right elbow as much. I'm not bending it that much to drink. He wants me to bend it, but not go crazy over it because it's all sliced up there.
I was going to ask, what is it? Is it just a small incision or is it?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, you don't even know? Okay,
I haven't seen it.
I didn't know if they went through and said they're going to put like an X and open it up and pull it out.
Tonight will be the first time I will unbandage it and then rebandage it again. But I wanted to keep the compression there for a while, for the first 36 hours.
Especially
keep
in that
some
area,
compression.
because then once you start moving it, it does.
Yeah. But it's like, for those of you that don't know, I have it covered now, but I showed it yesterday in the show last night. I have my band. It's all wrapped up in here. But I had my bursa sac removed. Because when I fell and hit my head, I also hit my elbow. And then the bursa sac kind of exploded. And then I iced it a couple times to lower it and had it drained and all that kind of stuff. And it went away for like 4 or 5 months. But then I banged my elbow and that's it. It initiated it once again. And I was done. And so then I either had to live with it, which I would have had to live with a Popeye elbow all the time, or get it replaced. Get it removed, because you can live without the bursa sac in your elbow. It's not an important thing to live with. So I got it removed, and so now I'm in the process of healing, and everything went well. Everything went really, really smooth yesterday, so it was all good, man. I can't really complain. Anyway, let's see. Don't forget the Big Cheese. Great sponsors of our program. We love talking about Gary, and it started with Gary and Billy. Billy, rest in peace, over 40 years ago. And you walk in there, and all you've got is Hurricanes memories for the last 40 years. Some great pictures and autograph pictures and just magazine covers and personal pictures that are taken there and all kinds. Just really, really cool place. And obviously the food, the pastas, shipped from Italy, cooked fresh daily. They give you family servings. So there's a good chance, like for me, I usually end up taking some home because it's just so much. Some places they're charging you more, but they're giving you less. Well, that's not the way it goes at the Big Cheese. And Gary has kept the standard forever. Go to bigcheesemiami.com and visit them at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, man. Good people out there at bigcheesemiami.com. All right, let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. Dolphins, by the way, today, both Jon-Eric Sullivan and Jeff Hafley had their opening press conferences, addressed the media and the fans. The one note that came out of it that was kind of important, they said that they would draft quarterbacks every year or every other year. And for a quarterback-starved franchise, that's actually good news. Put out the fishnet approach. Eventually, you will hit one. Tonight, on the ice, the Panthers will take on the Jets at 8 o'clock. Florida's minus 105 on the money line. The Jets are minus 115 on the money line. In basketball at 10 o'clock, the Miami Heat continue their West Coast swing. They'll take on the Blazers. Blazers are actually favored by 1.5 at home. 237.5 is the over and under. Miami is minus 400 on the money line, and the Trailblazers are minus 120 on the money line. So you know what Vegas thinks about that one. Fort Lauderdale United, they are off till January 31st. Then they will continue their second half of the season against Lexington SC at 7:30 at Beyond Bankcard Field. Go to FTLUTD.com to get your season tickets. and cheer them on for the second half, and hopefully they can make the playoffs and the finals once again. Mike McDaniel and Brian Flores, both former head coaches of the Miami Dolphins, both did not end up with any head coaching jobs. There were 10 available openings. Mike McDaniel and Brian Flores did not get one of them. Flo ends up going back to Minnesota as their defensive coordinator. And, of course, Mike McDaniel took the OC job with the Chargers a couple of days ago. That is your 3A Graphics Sports calendar. If you're looking for custom printing and embroidery, please reach out to my guy, Alan Blanco, 786-618-1443. All right. Let's start off with one of the things, because when I'm watching the press conference for Jon-Eric Sullivan and Jeff Hafley, when I'm watching the press conference of Jon-Eric Sullivan and Jeff Hafley, everybody on the chat board, they were just going crazy. The Tua question. How come nobody will ask? And you know, some of these people don't understand, like, that's not the question you ask, like, right away at the beginning of a press conference, right? And if you have a brain, okay, and I get it, dude, fans are fanatical. That's why. Did you get an answer? You didn't get an answer. Well, I haven't talked to the player. I have to discuss things with the player and this and that and whatever. And, you know, he left it so because he doesn't really know how he's going to handle everything. Is he going to tell you right there and then, no, we're cutting 2 on June 1st? Then he loses all leverage. And if he thinks that he could trade him to somebody and get back like a 4th rounder, but pay a certain amount of his salary also, they might do that. So they can't tell you what they're going to do if they're forced to outright cut him, if they can actually trade him, or by some weird miracle they plan to keep him for a year. They have no idea. And there's no hurry. It's not like you have a roster bonus in March and you're screwed. No, you're already screwed. So your release is going to be at some time in June. You're going to do the release where you split the difference in the cap hit and you take it over 2 years instead. That's what you're going to do. Come on, man. We know that. But for those of you out there that were just dying to hear something, you're not going to hear anything. And it's foolish to think that it shows that you're not in this business you're not in the business at all. And so you think like a fan and you want to think about some desperate question that right now there's no substance to it. Because they've got to let the offseason play out. They got to let the free agency play out. They've got to let the draft play out. All these kind of things. They're going to figure out where they're at in each stage with him and where they're going to cut bait at what point. But they can't tell you what they're going to do right now, because that has to be kind of first they have to talk to the player and the agent, because I'm sure the player and especially the agent will be picking up a phone. They don't even have a quarterbacks coach and an offensive coordinator. So all of these things have to be talked about. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sure they're going to part ways with him, but how? There are options. And they got to explore the ones that could be beneficial to them before the one that's completely a penalty, where you just cut them outright and you're just taking straight up cap hits. But they cannot tell you what they're going to do on the opening press conference, especially when the offseason hasn't even started, because the regular season or the NFL season hasn't ended yet. We're just approaching the conference games now. And we got 2 more weeks to the Super Bowl. And then, after that, and then we can start just to see how this thing develops. But you've got to kind of take it easy, because I found it funny that people were dying to get the Tua question. I'm sitting there going, how can he answer a Tua question now? And by the way, what is it so much? So many of you just hate the kid and don't want him there. What? Don't worry about it. He'll be gone. You're dying to hear. It's like It's like your children. You want to hear that he's going to get cut or whatever so you can feel good already because they're going to part ways and dump him and he's a failure and he's a bust and all that kind of shit. And it's just like, it's amazing how much of a lightning rod that kid is. Because they're clearly moving on, but the fans aren't. And so just hope that by some miracle they can do what these guys did with Tannehill, where they were able to get some kind of middling pick in the back and, sacrifice a little bit. They got to pay some of the salary. It is what it is. So you kind of bought your pick. The same thing you did with buying your third rounder. You bought a third round pick is what you did. That's basically what you did in that move when you got the third rounder. You bought it. Just like the Browns bought a second rounder back in the day. So relax, take it easy, take a deep breath. They'll move on from two at one point or another. But if you were expecting an answer today, yeah, you didn't really read the room the right way on what's really going on. So there we go with the Tua stuff. Just might as well get that out of the way. And I did like on the quarterback side that he said that they would draft a quarterback every year or every other year. That makes all the sense in the world. I'll give you something. Jon-Eric Sullivan had a really interesting quote. And it's not like Jimmy Johnson, we're going to be special or anything like that. It's not a promise. But he kind of talked a little bit about the culture that he expects from the team. And this is a standard that you can hold him by, right? Because this is what he says he's going to bring to the table. A culture of competition, hard work, love for each other. The love will be bouncing off the walls of this place. So he is expecting, which, by the way, it is important to draft. It is important to re-sign your own. It does create a culture. There's no doubt about it. He talked about that they will get into free agency. It'll take time. Both guys were very smart in that sense. They mentioned a couple times that, hey, this is, going to be a process, because it is. Anybody with a brain, and again, Dolphins out there, don't get fanatical now. This is going to take a couple of years. Whether you like it or not, you're going to have patience because they've got cap problems for the next 2 years. So they've got to kind of figure things out. They don't have to reach for a quarterback early, but they could reach for a quarterback, not reach, but draft one in the middle to late rounds this year. That could be, and then you bring in some kind of a veteran along with yours, and then you've got yourself a little bit of a competition and all that stuff. By the way, just so we can start off the right way about developing quarterbacks and competition and all that kind of stuff, folks, there's never quarterback competitions. Okay? Drake May didn't beat anybody. CJ Stroud didn't beat anybody. Okay? That's just not how it goes. All right? Because, there's this stupid notion that you hear sometimes, and I hear it sometimes, some silliness on the radio here locally, and I get it, it is what it is. And sometimes I get it from writers too, okay? And I've cut many off that way here on the show because I've done it when they talk about QB competition. There's never a QB competition, ever, okay? It's you draft your guy, that's your guy, period. You draft a backup. You don't draft. When you have a QB competition, you have no QBs. That means your two guys are kind of mediocre and they've got to fight it off. It's a terrible thing to have a QB competition. Put it that way. If you have a QB competition, that means you don't have a quarterback. Matt Stafford's not fighting anybody for the job. Neither was Andrew Luck. Neither is Mendoza. Neither is. When they get drafted, they're going to be the man. Okay, that's just the way it goes. Michael Penix was going to be the man, whether you like it or not, and Kirk Cousins knew it. And sure enough, there was no competition. Michael Penix was going to be their starter. Whether he's good enough or not, I don't know. I don't really care. But that's how it goes. And when you look at Cleveland, when you have a competition, you have what? You have no quarterback. That's your there's a lot of ignorance when it comes to that word competition. At QB, this isn't college, dude, where the redshirt sophomore is battling the junior because the senior just left. And so now those two are there and they're fighting off to be the starter in spring ball and all that kind of crap. And then maybe during the season, there's still a little bit of a this is not college. Okay, so whenever you do draft your guy, that's your guy, dude. 99% of the time. Has there been competitions? I'm sure there's been one or two in the history of time and all of that, but usually it's Bledsoe got injured, Tom Brady comes in, and he took the job, and didn't matter when Bledsoe got healthy back again, there wasn't going to be a competition. You know, that's just kind of the way it goes. There are no competitions. So stop with that because it makes no sense whatsoever. It's not like you get to draft the third and fourth players in the draft and they're both quarterbacks and you're saying, okay, we drafted 2 quarterbacks in the top 5 because we don't have but we're going to want those guys to battle it out. Maybe then. Okay. But you're not going to create competition. But it's good that they're going to want to draft quarterbacks. And the fact that they tell you they want to draft quarterbacks every year and every other year is another kind of backhanded shot at telling you Tua's gone. Because we plan to draft quarterbacks. So just relax. Everything we'll see if it works out, but at least it's headed in that direction for those of you that are freaking out about Tua. All right. I see Kosa was first in there, or maybe not. I don't know. True Fin Fan says, you want my honest reaction? GM, okay, but the coach, full of it. But I pray I'm wrong. Oscar Rojas is smashing it. Dolphin Dave. NorCal, I truly got a good feeling about the press conference with Sully and Haf. Just told my wife this could be our year. Puff, puff, give. Yeah, pass that stuff around, bro. Pass that stuff around. Yeah, boy. Oof. Juan Rosa, Brian Radke. Tom Stocco. Yeah, the microphone was terrible. Think Blue Dodgers. He says, can I get a birthday shout out? Think Blue Dodgers, of course, sir. You are here all the time. You are one of our true supporters, and we appreciate it immensely. And you're always out in LA, burning it, bonging it while you're tuning in to us, and we appreciate you. And may the sweetest bong be yours, sir, on this birthday. May you get the sweetest bud of all and roll it into a Led Zeppelin and enjoy. Enjoy your day in LA and enjoy your birthday, my friend. Thank you for your support. Happy birthday, Think Blue Dodgers. And give Think Blue Dodgers a happy birthday shout out there, all right? Let's do it. The Jaybird is in the house. He's smashing it in the like button too. Gus 1388. He likes the quarterback comment. Skylar Tipton is in the house. He loved the presser. Nobody's fool said, did this guy win an award or something? Sure felt like it. I don't see a head coach lasting 3 years. Friends are friends until money becomes a problem. Ross is worth billions, but can't afford a tie. We'll see, bro. I'm not going to shit on these guys without having seen them do their job yet. I got to see them do their job. It's not fair. It's not fair. Let's see. YouTube. Yes, the show hasn't started yet. This is all a fig Newton of your imagination. Jonathan Jensen is in. Lenny Pena. Fitzgrass. Daniel Guzman enjoying the show while at work. A work trip to Columbia, South Carolina. Not expecting much from the Finns for the next 2 seasons. Yeah, I wouldn't expect much either. But what you want to see is structure. What you want to see is discipline. What you want to see is improvement. That's what you want to see overall. You're not going to get the big wins or the big playoff wins or anything right this second because they're not built for that right now. It's common sense. But if you can see that Haf can coach, if you can see whatever draft picks and whoever they sign and undrafted guys and they start hitting on that stuff, you can start to feel good about that. And they got 3 third-rounders this year. That's a great opportunity to load up, dude. You could actually, like I told you for the last few weeks, if you take a long view approach, the Dolphins are a positive thing. If you take a short view approach, it's a negative thing. If you think, oh, you could turn it around right away in the next year or two, just like Denver, that's bullshit. No, you can't. Okay? You're probably not going to do that. So you're going to set yourself up. But if you think about all the extra picks they have over the next 2 years, plus the young guys you've already inherited, you can actually build a nice nucleus over the next 2 years that in year 3 of Haf and Sully, Jon-Eric Sullivan, in year 3 of those guys, you could actually be pretty good. Now, you got to hit on a quarterback too also in the next 2 years. You know what I'm saying? But if you hit and you draft on the line, and they talked about being physical at the line and running the ball, and, they talked about getting their coach, but also having their philosophy that they want to run the ball and they want to win at the line of scrimmage, which is common sense, dude. They said the right things. Now they got to prove that they can do them. Salvatore is in the house. He's in Sicily. Thank you, sir, for tuning in all the way in Sicily. Jack Vasquez in. Anthony Caio Campos. What else do I see here? Stoney Stanley, Fernando Perez, Aquavision, Eric, build. In 27, we can get somewhat attractive, but 28 is when results are needed. My 2 cents. Exactly. You got the right attitude. 26 and 27 is about building. And then we're going to see, do you have anything for 28 for us? And if you don't have anything for us by 28, then we can start to go, yeah, this is not looking good. So you got to be patient. You got to give this a little time. Jim Gleason is in. He's not going to say anything about strategic decisions. So those idiots asking the questions about Tua were just that. Exactly. Sweet Baby Ray. 4 heads are us. Are the clones? Ducky says Mike Vrabel probably being the Super Bowl is just pure karma for the Titans owner. Amy Adams stunk. Or strunk, but stunk. Yeah. Yeah, she's an idiot. Yeah, that's one dumb broad. Well, that's what happens. The kids take over and they're not really football people. And now she looks like a horse's ass. She let go of one of the 5 or 10 best coaches in the NFL. She fired Mike Vrabel. Don't forget, folks, you can make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. You can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation. Andrew Watson on Venmo. He says, who's your pick for coordinators? Anticipate any staffers sticking with the teams. Seems like we have some good assistant coaches. Also, if Toxic Fart was a superhero, what would his sidekick be named? Think Batman and Robin. How about Explosive Shart? Okay. That's a lot of thinking that Andrew's doing right now. A lot of thinking there. Now, on the coordinator side, let's talk a little bit about that, because the news is that the Dolphins have requested an interview with QB coach Gerard Johnson for the OC role. Now, everybody knows that Steve Shimko is the guy that's linked to Hafley. Everybody knows that Sean Mannion is another guy that's linked to Hafley. But I don't know if you know this, in the coordinator spot, you still have to go through the Rooney Rule. Okay, so I don't mean anything bad by Gerard Johnson coming in for an interview, but I'm just saying. I don't think Gerard Johnson's going to get the gig. I think just like Jon-Eric Sullivan, Jon-Eric Sullivan had his sights set on Jeff Hafley, just like he had his sights set on Jeff Hafley. He probably has his sights set on Steve Shimko. Did you see how he talked about how his Boston College staff was a great staff? And by the way, one thing that he mentioned that I overlooked, and I think most of us did, he was 20 and 26 there. It was during COVID. If you put that into context, that's not that bad, actually. Boston College is a tough place, dude. And you're in the middle of COVID also. Yeah, that was, and he was very complimentary about how he surrounded himself with good people. And Steve Shimko was that guy. So I just kind of think what everybody else thinks about Shimko, and so many people have written about it and talked about it, that I still think he's the guy. I just think Gerard Johnson is here because of the Rooney Rule. Now, by the way, for the rest of the assistants, you don't have to go through Rooney Rule. Okay? Not a wide receivers coach, a QB coach, or whatever. All the position coaches, you don't have to go through Rooney Rule. But the Rooney Rule, you have to go through the head coach, the OC, and the DC. So there you go. And Hafley's going to call plays himself. So he'll have like a pseudo defensive coordinator that's more like a game planner, because he's going to call the plays. Now, he says, this is an interesting one where Hafley says that he's going to call the plays, okay? I'm sorry, wait a minute. Jeff Hafley says he's going to call the plays. Let's talk a little bit about that, because this one is kind of interesting. He says he's learned from watching his current boss or former boss in LeFleur, and then also from watching Shanahan, who, by the way, both guys are the head coaches and also the play callers. So Hafley's going to do it on the defensive side. And it sounds like, I don't know if Mike McDaniel had this, but it sounds like he wants to put the same kind of support staff that allows him to be a coordinator and a head coach. I don't know. That's a big job for Hafley. He talked about how it allows him to be a head coach during the week, and I get that. But on game day, I think it's also very important to be a really good head coach and be on everything, not just on your defense or offense, depending on what you are. You know, the proven guys that have done it for a while, okay, the Shanahans, and now, you know, the Andy Reids and all those kind of guys. And now, I guess LaFleur has been doing it. It'll be interesting to see if Hafley is able to balance both, because that's a really difficult job. I personally don't like my rookie coach to be also the coordinator. I'd rather my head coach be the head coach and him get two coordinators, but it's his call, man. It's his call, but we'll see if that one works out, because that's something to watch, because he's got to balance a lot, and it takes a special person to be able to do that. And, you know, I'm sure he did it at Boston College, so he has some kind of a comfort zone, you know, there. We'll see. That one's a very interesting one. Give me 1 minute, Sean Stanley, please.
Oh, Sam, not again.
Initiating Daddy's back.
Yo!
Set the rhythm of your smart home with Sloman Shield Blink, the new integrated smart home platform that automates your life just the way you want it. Sloman Shield Blink. Be the maestro of your own home.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rayom can help. The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
Alrighty, welcome back. Hour number 2 of the program here at Hialeah Park. Yes, sir. We're always giving something away. Loose slots. We got the second floor poker room, nice and relaxing captain's chairs. The ladies will bring you drinks. They'll bring you food while you're relaxing. They got TVs everywhere, dude, like everywhere. Giant ass TVs everywhere. So if there's a sporting event going on day or night, you're going to be watching it here. Racetracks all over the country. Got the Champions Simulcast Center. Got downstairs. So many machines out there. They've got also live poker downstairs too. So I mean, all kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff. They've got the Flamingo Lounge. They've got Vicky's Bakery, so you can enjoy a little Pastelli action. It's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. Maybe I should get a Pastelli on my way out. George, thank you for the love on the super chat. Says expectations should be low next season, but this is infinitely better than seeing Mike McDaniel on the sidelines. Go Fins. Exactly. We got rid of that bum, and that's all I want, dude. That's all I want. Anthony Kyle Campos, thank you for the love on the super chat. He says the new coach looks like Hank from Me, Myself, and Irene. Vagil Clean Extra Cheese in Taco, 5-star movie. There was a lot of forehead on the stage today. It's a lot of forehead. I will agree with that. True Finn fan, he says there can only be one king of farts. This is war. That's it. Well, I mean, that's it's why Gaza looks the way it looks. That's what it is. It was True Fin Fan and Toxic Fart having a fight. YouTube says, I agree. I'm not very comfortable with Hafley calling defensive plays. It might be something to do with PTSD. I have from McDaniel calling plays. And Adam Gase called plays while he was the head coach also. Brian Flores didn't, right? Or he ended up calling them after. That's what it was.
Why do most of the newer coaches find it? Because they want to, if they fail, they fail because of them, basically, not in putting it in somebody else's hands.
It all started all the way down in college, when you used to teach quarterbacks to run an offense. Now nobody can run an offense. Now they all have to look for all the little sideline messages. So the receiver group will look there. The offensive line group will look over there. The quarterback will look over there. So you can confuse the hell out of them, and you're all doing the same shit. And the quarterback doesn't really get to know everything about everybody's routes and responsibilities and all those kind of things. And then you would grow up, knowing an offense. And then in the NFL, they would teach you the offense, and they wanted you to call the offense on the field because they trusted you and because you're in the middle of the action and you're watching what's going on. But now that we've gotten to the point that there's so much money involved, all these coaches have taken the responsibilities away from the players, and then they have assumed all these responsibilities because their egos will not allow them to put their livelihood in the hands of somebody else. And this is what we have turned to as a football society. For you youngins, it's like you don't know any better because you don't know any better. But for those of us that kind of grew up with it, we know it was better. It was better that way. When you were teaching your players to be way more intelligent than what they are nowadays, because they had to really know everything going on. And when they could call a game out there, it's like when the quarterback would come off the field and you'd ask him, what are you seeing out there? It's a whole, instead of you're telling them everything going on and they're like, okay, but, and so that's where there's a problem. There's no longer that two-way connection anymore because of the paranoia of getting fired. And because they remember back in the day, go look at Tom Landry's record the first few years. He would have never survived in today's football. Never. Tom Landry was getting his ass kicked by Hank Stram in his own city in Dallas. Okay? The AFL team was the better team in Dallas. Dallas, the Cowboys were a joke. Early days of Tom Landry. But they stuck with him, and then he became a legend. That's because they don't do that anymore. Nobody sticks with you anymore, unless you're the Dolphins. But they don't. They get rid of you within a couple of years if you don't get it done. And it's really changed the dynamics of football. And the player's not trusted anymore. And it's something that, there's a generation now that have no idea maybe almost 2 generations now, because it's been going on for over 25 years. So it's over a generation now of people that don't know what the hell I'm talking about. It was a different way you grew up in the game, and you were trusted more, and they put more trust into you. At the same time, you were educated enough to go out there and run an offense. That's it's not the way it goes nowadays, and that's a shame. It's a shame. Yes, sir.
Pete Thamel.
Yeah.
Sources: former Missouri edge rusher Damon Wilson II is committing to Miami. He's ESPN's number 9 overall player in transfer portal after earning second-team All-SEC honors, finished third in SEC with 9 sacks, and led Missouri with 12 quarterback hurries.
Good pickup. That's a good pickup. They got good stats and a good conference. And now we're waiting for the quarterback and maybe the receiver also. The word has it that the receiver from Duke is also coming here.
Now, here's where I have a question, because it said that he jumped in the transfer portal yesterday. I thought he couldn't do that.
I don't know.
Or was the wording wrong? Because I remember Manny said that the window closed on a certain date, except for Miami, Indiana had 5 days after the national championship game.
Yeah. I don't know.
And again, maybe they misworded it. Maybe he was already in there and now he's more lean. I don't know, but it just seemed
you'd have to ask those kind of guys that cover that stuff. 100%. I just don't know all the particulars, all the transfer stuff. I'm not good in that. I'm not good in that area. It's not my thing, unfortunately. Yeah, we'll ask Manny tomorrow. But they may get the quarterback and the receiver from Duke. And I love how they're all whining and all that. So we're stealing the quarterback they stole from Tulane.
Well, they're crying because he just signed a 2-year deal to stay, and then opening came, he can go to greener pastures. And
but
like,
that's
wait a minute, we just signed you.
But that's the system.
Yeah,
that's the system you signed to. Coaches can leave for other jobs too, and So players can do the same thing. You can't take away you can't give coaches some rights and not give the players the same rights. And this is what you have to live with, unfortunately. Don't forget, folks, smash the hell out of the like button. Very important that you smash the like button. What else do we have that I liked overall from the press conference? Let me tell you something I'll tell you something you do have to be concerned about. Okay? Let's talk about the one thing that I think could be concerning that came from that press conference. I sent him a text. Chris Perkins asked the question of breaking down the power structure of the team. And I think what we all wanted to hear, at least that's what I wanted to hear, is that Jon-Eric Sullivan only answers to the owner. Somehow or another, we got a collaboration. Well, I'm seeing out here, and Danny is very helpful, and Brandon is very helpful, and and I'm like thinking these aren't football people. I don't need Danny Silman involved in anything. All of a sudden, this guy marries the owner's daughter, and all of a sudden he's like a football guy. Brandon Shore is a cap guy. I don't need you. I don't want you anywhere involved in football. Clearly, they let the GM pick their coach. Okay? But it's very important that, Jon-Eric Sullivan gets to pick whoever the hell he wants all the time, that he has the final decision on every personnel move, that it's not a collaborative decision. Okay? Because I don't want to hear about those people in the organization being part of anything on the football side. I'm sorry. They've done a marvelous job. Tom Garfinkel is a beast on the business side. He's not a football guy. Brandon Shore, he's a numbers geek. He's not a football guy. Danny Silman, just because he did well in his fantasy football league last year, does not make him a football guy. Just because he's married to the owner's daughter doesn't make him a football guy. And I certainly don't want Big Ears Ross involved in anything along football because he doesn't know jack shit. So that's the only thing that I would have really liked to hear Jon-Eric Sullivan say. I have final say in everything that goes on the football side. I know he's not going to have final say on the business side and, other things that, hey, man, it's a big business and they're going to have to control. But when it comes to personnel, I would have liked to have rather hear that it all ends with me. Yeah, I'll work with others and listen to their input, but I didn't get that. And that's one thing that I'm a little concerned about. Okay, but we'll see as time goes on. We'll get some dirt from the building. We'll find out if, what's going on is really all him or there is interference or anything like that. Don't worry. We'll somehow or another, I'm sure we'll run into that information at one point or another. I'm sure. But, yeah, I think that's the important part. I would like for Jon-Eric Sullivan. Jon-Eric Sullivan, I would like for him to be the end-all be-all because that's how you judge him. And then if you have to start hearing about, well, this person was involved in this decision and that person was involved in this decision, and all that kind of, and look what's going on in Buffalo. The coach got fired and he was, well, you guys didn't give me enough. And then the owner's like, well, I could tell you that Brandon Beane wasn't the one that made the call on Coleman, the wide receiver. Like, man, you guys shouldn't be talking about this in public. I mean, especially for the kid, So you don't want that, and we've had so much of that. We've had the too many chefs in the kitchen, too many chiefs, too little Indians, whatever silly saying you want to come up with. That's been an issue for the Miami Dolphins for decades. There are too many people making decisions, football decisions, and there should only be one guy making football decisions right now, and his name is Jon-Eric Sullivan. Okay. So that's the one issue that I would look at, and I would be a little concerned about it. But again, time will answer all. We'll find out if they can do the job or not. Let's see. I agree. What is it about Basketball Jones? It's the inverse of McD with the offense. Agree. Why take so much in your first year and first head coach opportunity? Both GM and coach are well-spoken and passionate at the very least. Yes. Ray says, howdy-o. Do we get a third rounder if Weaver is hired as a head coach? Yes. 2 third rounders. You get. But he's got to be hired. But any day now, they're going to hire their own defensive coordinator, and then they have to fire, Weaver. So I don't think we're going to end up getting they're kind of hanging on, and they're doing the OC first now,
Now with Hafley
calling. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
Plays, technically, they don't need to hire one, right? Or is Weaver done now?
Weaver's done. Yeah.
With him being.
That's a good call. He's making the calls. He neutered Weaver. So Weaver can leave.
But can they keep him on the books technically, trying to hold on?
I don't think so.
No, okay.
No, they can't because he was the defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
He's not the defensive coordinator anymore.
It's Hafley.
The head coach just said, I'm the defensive coordinator. I'm calling the plays.
Gotcha.
So actually, yeah, I think they have triggered already a position where they can't keep him anyways. So they've got to let him go. And by the way, he's probably going to end up as a defensive coordinator for the Giants when it's all said and done. That's what I think he's going to end up getting. Yeah, Harbaugh. Yeah, that's what it's going to end up doing, if anything. Ocala Joe, the new coach can speak like a normal human. That's all I need to hear. I'm sold. Yeah, I can at least listen to the press conference. I never really look forward to listening to Mike McDaniel press conferences. They are brutal. Just like, I'm at a point now where I don't even want to hear from Stephen Ross either. When he started talking, I was like, just shut up. Introduce the men and get out of the way. And he did that, by the way. He didn't take any questions. He just, which smartest thing they did is keep the old man away from taking questions.
To me, Ross is at the age now to where, look, if Silman is going to be the guy, let him go up there and do, because it just was bumbling. It was just like.
Yeah, you're right about that.
If Silman's going to be taking over.
This is probably the last time he introduces. It'll probably be Silman from moving forward.
New era. That would have been a perfect time to be. Yeah. This is a new era of Miami. No Ross, no McDaniel, no Greer, no whatever. This is the new era. Now you're saying this is the new era, but I'm still here.
Right, I'm still here. I'm a goofball, and the mic doesn't work.
That would have been the perfect time for you to say, hey, take over. Although with the microphone issues, it might not have been a good start.
No, they're not going to go after Aaron Rodgers, bro. No. Hit the thumbs up, folks, please. Hit the thumbs up. We need it. Yeah. So who knows? It is what it is. What else do we have? Talked a little bit about that. I'm looking at my notes to see some of the stuff that I wrote down. Oh, when Sully was talking about the quarterbacks, and one of the things that I did like that he talked about is we've got to compliment whoever is our quarterback. We've got to give them weapons. We've got to give them an offensive line, a strong running game, all of those things, because he cannot do it by himself. And I like that because there seems to be a tendency, an irresponsible tendency from sometimes radio people, people on TV, from writers at times, where you think your quarterback is going to solve everything. And like I told you, look at Josh Allen. He can't solve everything. And he's pretty good, but he's not good enough because he's erratic. So if you want him to pass all the time, he won't be good at that. So you better complement him with weapons around that'll make his life a lot easier. That's why they use a lot of tight ends in his offense, because he needs that kind of help. And then you need to give him a running game, and you got to give him the protection and all those kind of things. But if you expect Josh Allen to carry you all the way through, that's why he'll fail every single time, because nobody really can do it. Because quarterbacks don't really carry you completely. They need help. They need people to block. They got to have a threatening. What I liked is, we want to run the ball when you know we have to run the ball. You know, that kind of stuff he said. I'm paraphrasing. But bottom line is, we're going to run whether you like it or not. And to me, that's super important. And at the end of this season, for certain stretches, you saw how important that was and how it really helps the quarterback. And this has been a problem for this team for decades. Decades. There's outliers. There's a Jay Ajayi year. There's a Lamar Smith, and there's a Ricky Williams and all that. But it's not like a constant. It's just when you find a terrific back that actually outshines and complements the line more than the line complementing the back. You know what I'm saying? That's when the Dolphins have a good running game. When the back is so good that it's helping the line look better than what it really is. Because Ricky Williams made the line look better than what it really is. Jay Ajayi made the line look better than what it really is, and so did Lamar Smith. Okay? Because if the line was any good, they'd be running every year and with different backs. So it just tells you. It's not like you all of a sudden had a good line. No, we've never really had. Even in the days where Omar gave the unicorn gig, it was 3 guys, and one of them was constantly injured. And the other one had a neck issue at center. So it wasn't like, they were healthy. You were all right, but it wasn't like you were the 70s Dolphins or anything. So I like that they talked about how, you need a quarterback, but you've got to surround the quarterback with weapons, with complementary stuff, which is what we've talked about over and over and over and over and over again here on the show. By the way, our friends at Caneswear, you can get anything and everything practically with a Canes logo on it. Dolphins, you can get to the old logo. They got a lot of old logo. They've got Marlins gear. They've got Panthers gear. They've got World Championship Panthers gear. They've got Inter Miami gear, all that kind of stuff. So take advantage, folks. Get on down there. Miami Heat gear at Caneswear. Use our code BIG010. You will get 10% off. BIG010, get 10% off. And if you order online over $99, you will get free shipping. And let me tell you, Jeff and the folks, they get it shipped out right away. Okay? Nobody does it better than Brett Gittleman, man. They're at Caneswear. All right. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. By the way, Bitcoin is around 89,644 right now. The market is back up again 2 days in a row after the Trumpster had the threats. We had the Trump dump, and then we've had Taco, and then since he backed off, we've had 2 straight days of making up for the numbers that you lost 2 days ago. So it's a shame, but a lot of people lose money on all these crazy things that are said, and it's kind of, you got to always remember the Taco's coming, and you got to hang in there. Just buy the dip is what you do more than anything else. Is better than it's always better to buy the dip than react off of that stuff. Just, not financial advice, but it just happens over and over again. What else do we have going on in the world of sports? Did you see how the press conference ended? No? So those of you that were watching the press conference live, did you think of The Sopranos? That's what I thought of right away, Sopranos. Because Jon-Eric Sullivan, he goes, oh, wait a minute, I know I got to say one more thing here. And then it just cut. Whoever was doing whoever did the broadcast today is, really, they had a bad day. They had a terrible day. And all he did was thank the people that work in the building and all the everyday workers and all that kind of stuff. And I'm kind of paraphrasing. It wasn't anything serious, but it was kind of funny because he goes, I know this is not something that I should say or maybe not, but it doesn't matter. I can say it and whatever. And, I want to thank, and then it just cut to dark. We went to dark. And then the whole chat board on it is exploding. What do you want to say? What do you want to say? What do you want to say? And, because it was kind of funny, but it was Sopranos.
The Dolphins are smart. They restart that Dolphins thing and then tune in to find out what he said.
All right. Oh, man. Lenny Pena goes, yeah, it ended abruptly. Yeah, it just clicked off, says Drew. That was lame. No, that was Sopranos. No, the whole broadcast was a screw up.
Was Stephen Ross controlling the broadcast?
I don't know.
He had the thing in his hand. He's like, his finger fidgeted. Like, oh no, like stop.
I think Mike McDaniel was controlling that podcast, dude.
I've had enough. Click.
It was so bad. It was such a terrible broadcast. And then it ends Soprano style. And it's like, and it was just funny to see the whole board freak out. Like he was going to say something earth-shattering anyways, and he was just thanking the people that work in the building every day and all that kind of stuff, so it was cool. It was nice of him and all that to do that, but yeah, it was just kind of funny.
I wonder if they had to set up to where it timed out.
Huh?
I wonder if they had to set up to a timer to where they only had a
No, I
amount of
doubt
time.
that. No.
I don't even know how long the press conference went.
Yeah, I don't think you can predict that, Jay Ellingsworth, thank you, sir, for the love on Venmo. Remember, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. You can send in your questions, comments, and insults there. Big O, a couple of philosophies that Sully laid out that I loved were building the team from inside out and developing developing depth at the QB spot. Those are two of the biggest Dolphin failures a few decades. Yes. But remember, depth is one thing, not competition. Okay? Nobody creates competition for your quarterback. You draft your guy, and that's your guy. So let's make sure we don't misunderstand that. Okay? But yeah, you got to have a competent backup. I like Ewers as a backup. You know who I like? The kid that's starting this weekend, Jarrett Stidham. If you go back and look at the videos, I was a fan of his coming out of college that I said, this is a kid that I like. He's got all the physical tools to be an NFL quarterback, that he should be able to be a backup quarterback, maybe a bad starter, mediocre starter or something. So I was a Jarrett Stidham fan coming out of, was it Auburn? Jarrett Stidham? You were with me, right, on one of those off seasons? On the Jarrett Stidham one, I think. But I was a Stidham fan, and so he's been able to hang around a little bit, but he hasn't been able to break through. Auburn, right? Auburn, yeah, I remember, and he wasn't bad actually. So he's a guy that, like, it's a project that you take in the third day, which, like, I don't know, somebody put that Carson Beck is like rumored to be the third overall pick, and I'm like, what are you smoking, bro? That guy's a third day quarterback at best. Stidham, I actually think he has more physical tools than Carson Beck, to be quite honest. So it'll be interesting to see what Jared Payton does with Stidham this weekend, and see if Stidham has made any more progress with a guy like Payton overall. Because you remember Jameis Winston for like 5 weeks under Sean Payton while he was filling in, played like the best football of his life or something. He wasn't even turning it over a whole ton, which is unheard of for Jameis. You know what I mean? So, Payton does have a way with quarterbacks. That nobody can ever deny him of that. So it'd be interesting to see what he can do with Jarrett Stidham, this weekend. So, but it's cool stuff. Cool stuff. They should have been playing Journey right after. Yeah, and don't stop believing, man. Hell yeah. By the way, I'm going to the Morrissey concert tonight. I don't know how many of you are going. I will be in the pit with the wife and the daughter. So this is the second time I take him to a Morrissey concert. And I'm glad he didn't cancel. Yeah, he hasn't canceled yet. There's still a chance. So you're saying there's still a chance. Yes, unfortunately, yes. There's still a chance. So if you're going to Morrissey, give me a wave. Say hi. Just don't hit me in the arm here, okay? Whatever you do, hit me anywhere else, okay? If you hate me or whatever, hit me anywhere else, but please don't hit me in the arm, okay? And just to stay away from the elbow, okay? Whatever. All right. Let's see, what else did I get to from the presser? Is there any, by the way, anything you guys want to talk about on the presser? You got any questions? And by the way, before I get back into the Dolphins, just got to talk, just to switch gears a little bit and talk a little Miami Heat, because I see where Giannis Antetokounmpo is complaining about his teammates and playing selfishly and all this kind of stuff. And we're headed for a divorce in Milwaukee. Okay. All I'm going to reiterate, okay, please, Miami Heat. I don't think you'll get him anyway, because somebody out there will give up so many picks that you don't have anyway. But I know that something tells me you guys would be dumb enough to try to make this trade. And you'll give up so much that he won't have enough around him anyway. And you'll ask for Spo. You'll ask too much from Spo. And you're not going anywhere. And he will not age well. Okay? That's the other thing. This is the time when you get off the Giannis Antetokounmpo train. This is good for Milwaukee to get off now from the train. They should, to turn over their roster. But I think that the team that acquires him has to be the Giannis away from the title. They have to feel like, okay, if we add this guy, we're winning the title. And if you're doing that, that's fine, but that's not the Miami Heat. You could add Giannis Antetokounmpo, and you're not going anywhere anyway. I'm just saying, because I see it, and then I know the silly Heat sites, and and I know people that write in the Heat or talk about the Heat. They got to have something to talk about because they do this all the time with all the other players. But man, this would be a stupid move. Okay, and I don't know how many moves that I've said that would be stupid, and they still do them. So I hope you're not stupid enough to do this move. Okay. Lenny Pena, Carson Beck is going to be like a 4th, 5th, or 6th rounder. He can play, but there's nothing special about him. Yeah, I think he's backup material at best. Yeah, I think he's a 5th, 6th, 7th round pick, something like that. Yeah, I don't even think he's a 4th. You know that? I don't even think he's a 4th. I would not. If the Dolphins draft Carson Beck, I'm going to go, I'd rather have Quinn Ewers. Put it that way. Yeah, I'd rather have Quinn Ewers than Carson Beck. I'm not impressed by. I don't need another Quinn Ewers. So go get me something if you can better. If not, then don't get it, bro. Just go get a street free agent. You're not going anywhere next year. You're just trying to keep things afloat and trying to adjust the whole roster and the salary cap and everything. So I don't have. Next year's a transition year, and I'm good with that. I'm fine with that. I'm excited about that. It's like the Heat that I keep telling you, bro, tear it down. Go get me a whole bunch of young guys. Let me get excited again about the Heat. Then the Heat bore me. I get excited watching Palo Larson and some of the young guys. I don't get excited watching Bam and Tyler. That's a waste. Bam should have already been traded for a whole bunch of picks. And Tyler, now you can't even trade him. Now you can't even get anything for him, which is disgusting. Sad. So please don't make that stupid move. God, don't make that move. Please don't make that move. The Knicks a good landing spot. Whatever. God bless them, dude. Whatever. It's just the Heat are not in a place to get it done. Let them go somewhere else where short term they're in the position. The Knicks is a perfect example. But I think that they would. I read where they want to get rid of Karl Anthony Towns. I would imagine that they have to get rid of Karl Anthony Towns to accommodate him. The question is, who's trading for Karl Anthony Towns? Because I would not want Karl Anthony Towns. Oh, my God. I wouldn't want Karl Anthony Towns at all. Yes, it is the Australian Open in the background. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Let me do a little music. I am going to the Morrissey concert tonight. Might as well talk a little musica. Let me get that here. Oh, you got any questions, comments? Send them in. I will talk a little more Dolphins in a second. Let's talk a little bit about musicians born on this date in January 22nd. Logic, the American rapper, Sir Robert Bryson Hall II. You heard that, Sean? Why did Logic call himself Logic? Sir Robert Bryson Hall II. I mean, short name, right? Logic. It was logical to change names. That shit was too long. Born in 1990 for Logic. Happy birthday to him. Jazzy Jeff, the DJ, baby. Born in 65. Let's see who else. Steve Adler, the drummer for Guns N' Roses from 85 to 90, born in 65. Michael Hutchins, rest in peace, born in 1960 on this date. Unfortunately, we lost him in 97 to a suicide death. Let's see who else. Niall Pegram from Small Faces, born in 1949. Vinny Lopez, drummer with Bruce Springsteen from 68 to 74. Let's see. Steve Perry from Journey, born in 49 on this date. Malcolm McLaren, two Buffalo girls go round the outside, round the outside, round the outside. Born in 1947. Sam Cooke, baby, born in 1931. That is amazing. That is musicians. All right, let's go with famous people born on this date. Remember, if I don't give you an age, that means they have passed away. Chief Justice of the United States, Fred Vinson, born in 1890. I was just hanging out with him recently. Unfortunately, we just lost him. Let's see. Actor Piper Laurie, born in 1932. Actor Bill Bixby, born in 1934. Writer Joseph Wambaugh, I think, isn't he the one that wrote The Onion Field? I think Joseph Wambaugh, 1937. It was a good movie, by the way. Actor John Hurt, born in 1940, no longer with us. Musician Teddy Gentry of Alabama. So play me some mountain music like Grandma and Grandpa used to play. In 52. Today he is 74. Bless him. Actor John Wesley Shipp, born in 55. He is 71. Actress, I Can Spin My Head and Spit Out Green, Linda Blair, born in 59. She's 67. Actress, one of my favorites of all time. So fine, so beautiful. Diane Lane, born in 65. She is 61. Guy Fieri, restaurateur, born in 68. He's 58. Actor Gabriel Macht, my favorite actor in my favorite character of Suits, of course, Harry, born in 72. He's 54. Let's see who else. Ben Moody from Evanescence, born in 81. He's 45. And WNBA star Caitlin Clark, born in 2002. She's 24 today. Sean Stanley, do you have any wrestlers born on this date, sir?
Yes, sir, we do. Rita Marie turned 69. The great Pinky George was born on this date in 1905. And a member of the Four Horsemen, Tully Blanchard, he turned 72 on January 22nd, 2026.
All right. Let's move over. Our friend Steve Calabro is in the house. Yeah, he needs a mic. He needs a mic to brag about how he's kicking some ass. Went 3-1. 3-1. Wait a minute. Hold on.
3-1 in the playoffs.
You're 9-5 in your last 5 weeks.
I'm feeling it, and I'm feeling good this week.
Weeks.
I'm feeling this week.
He went 2-1, 2-1, 2-1, 2-1, 1-0, 1-0-1, really, and then 1-2, and now 3-1. So he's now 9-5-1 on the season, on the postseason. Like it was kind of like the end of the regular season and postseason.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
When the games matter.
When they mattered.
When they mattered.
When they matter.
Listen, I talked to the Jersey Wise guy.
He went
2-2.
Yes, he went 500.
Now he's saying this week he thinks the lines are like they're sucker bets or something. They're tricking you. The line is tricking you. So he said on the Rams game, right? He said, "Look at this. This is weird." And he might be onto something.
I don't know if he wants to, but go ahead.
Let's do the picks.
Okay, we're doing the picks.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I was so. You know what happened? I had a lengthy conversation with the Jersey guy, and so I'm all picked up. I'm all psyched about.
Yeah,
the picks.
I mean, today, tomorrow, what are you really going to change?
Yeah, I mean, and the Jersey guy has a theory that there's something with the lines.
Well, Seattle favored by only 2.5 at home.
That's
something
doesn't seem right.
Now the Rams run the ball well on Seattle. There's a healthy respect for the Rams right now, and I think that's what it is. That Vegas sees it and says, "Yeah, the Seahawks are the best team in the league." Period.
But they're home, and
they're home.
They're giving them only.
I know.
If let's say they're at a neutral field, right? That's not going to happen. But that would mean it's a pick 'em.
Right. Oh,
you only get 2.5 or 3 points for the home field.
It actually means that Rams are plus half a point, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he's thinking. So
he's taking Seattle.
No, he's taking the Rams.
Wow.
He's taking the Rams, and I'm taking Seattle.
Okay.
He's taking the Rams. He said the line is telling him something. He's thinking that the Rams are going to do something. I don't think so. I'm all about the Seattle.
That defense is too nasty.
They're the best team. Listen, I'm going to go one step
too
further.
Nasty. My only problem is that I have a hard time trusting Sam Darnold.
He's very consistent.
I cannot let it go. And I need you to prove me wrong before I trust.
Well, wait a second.
I've seen
Hasn't he
so
proven
many
you
of those
wrong? In the last 22 years.
No,
Hasn't he proven you wrong 28 times?
No, he's proven me right a whole bunch of times. He hasn't proven me wrong yet. Last year, he shit the bed in the last game.
One game. He had a bad game.
It was the most. Bubba, you're 9-5-1 in the most important games.
Listen, I've never been a public
defender.
defender.
In the most important
I'm not a defense
game.
attorney or a public defender.
But you're coming through in the clutch right now. He did not. And that's I don't know. I don't know how you guys feel out there on this, but I cannot let it go. I cannot trust Sam Darnold.
Well, you're on the same thought process as the Jersey Wise guy.
Maybe
to a degree, right?
I may wait for the live line, like the Canes. They lost, dude. I won. I got 9.5 and 11. I took the 8.5 early, then it went to 9.5, and it went to 11.5. And I just kept doubling it. And I said, no. This will be a closer game than this.
Here's what happened to me. I'm so upset because I bet late. I was here in this seat saying, "Oh, I like the under. I like the under. It's 48.5. It's 48.5, right?" I don't bet it till the game day, and it's 46.5. Right? They score 48 points. Had I bet it when I was talking,
you would have won.
I would have won. So that one upset me. I did take Indiana. I had to give 7.5. I gave 7.5, and
Oh, I loved the Canes plus the points. I love the Canes plus the points.
But there's a theory.
That was great.
But
when they gave me 9.5 and 11.5, I was sexually aroused.
So Big O, with like minutes to go, right? Indiana's on the 6-yard line. That offensive lineman goes offside. It's 2nd and 1.
I know.
There's a theory that says if he doesn't go if he doesn't go offsides, they let him score. Although that doesn't happen in college, so that they can get the ball back.
Unless you're Florida.
Well, at any rate.
You know anything about that?
No.
He doesn't know about
And
the Florida flop.
I'm a University of
Do me
Florida
a favor,
guy, too.
Sean. Look up the Florida flop.
When did it happen?
This is
Florida.
60s,
Oh, the
mid-60s.
60s. I was 8 years old.
Well, I'm just
Yeah,
what you're talking about. Florida did it. The Gators did it, and it got named the Florida flop.
So what did they do?
I just let him explain the whole situation there. You could probably read it.
Uh-oh. This is a detailed thing.
Florida.
I'm trying to make sure I get
the Florida flop.
Here's the short version.
Okay.
apparently there's many.
Aim the mic on his way.
All right, so let me see. The short version. Miami and Florida were both having miserable seasons. They squared off at the Orange Bowl for the final game of the 1971 season.
71.
But the game still had plenty of juice, in part because the school's longtime rivalry, in part because Florida quarterback John Reeves needed 343 yards passing to break Jim Plunkett's NCAA career passing record of 7,544 yards. With time winding down and Florida winning by a lopsided score of 45-8, Reeves was still 10 yards shy of the record. Miami had the ball and was slowly driving for a meaningless touchdown, too slowly for Florida's taste. Fearing that time might expire before Reeves could get the ball back, the Florida defense repeatedly called timeout, but Miami kept creeping down the field. That's when the Florida defense played its trump card. As Miami snapped the ball from the Florida 8-yard line, the Gator players fell down on the job, literally. They simply flopped to the ground, giving Miami quarterback John Hornibrook
a touchdown,
an uncontested touchdown.
I love it. So
they flopped just to get a record.
Oh, that's brutal. That's brutal.
What was that? What was the basketball player that got he purposely got an offensive rebound off purposely to then put it back in so he could get a triple double or something? It was just like, yeah, you know.
Is it a few minutes later, Reeves got the record as time expired?
Yeah,
as time expired, he gets the record. Oh, that made it exciting, I guess. It made it exciting.
The Florida flop.
But anyhow, then the other pick, going from the Florida flop to the New England versus Denver game. Now, totally different game. Your boy Bo Nix is out. I know,
man.
I know that's not a.
Yeah, but him. See,
he played a hell of a game.
The one thing is, both these guys, they're the same guys. Williams over in Chicago and Nix in Denver. They can't play consistent on schedule football.
I agree with you.
They're like not consistent. They're not accurate. They just make bad. But then the fourth quarter comes. And then somehow,
on steroids.
Yeah. But now you cannot live that way.
It's hard in the NFL. In the NFL, it's going to be. You can't do that long term,
dude. What does Brady do to you? 1,000 cuts. You know how the what is it? The Chinese, the Japanese, whatever that torture method of theirs. That it was 1,000 cuts.
Yeah.
And you would like Montana or all these guys. It's a 4-yarder. It's a 7-yarder. It's a and you say, oh, that's all bullshit and all that. You know how hard it is to be consistent, dinking and dunking. That is not an easy thing to do. And they cannot do that. They cannot play the simple stuff. But somehow or another, you know, they've lived throughout the whole season doing this. And that will blow up in their face next year. You'll see. Yeah. But one of them survived and the other one died by the sword.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's where, and unfortunately, the kid's not going to play this week. So he's out. So, you know,
it's a sad story. The whole the kid, Stedman or whatever, you know,
Jarrett Stidham.
Look, people are calling him Stedman. I guess that's in honor of Oprah. I guess.
Right.
But the Stidman hasn't thrown a ball in 2 years.
Right.
I mean, it will be interesting to see what Sean Payton does. The coach is going to be, you know, it's going to be an interesting game plan, I guess. But anyhow, I'm all over. Even before. I just think, here's what I think. I think, and I said this, I guess, a couple days ago, Seattle's going to win the Super Bowl. It's plain and simple.
Yeah, it's hard to argue that.
And I think they're going to beat the Patriots. I think Patriots are going to beat the Broncos.
Yeah, I think so too.
I'll give the 5 points. Oh, by the way,
You
the
are
Jersey
going?
wise guy agrees with me.
So you're both going New England?
Yeah, although he thinks that -5 is like
It's a lot.
No, he thinks it's too little.
Oh, Denver's defense is really good in their home.
Yeah, I guess.
They're
I
home.
guess.
They're
But I
home.
mean,
but by the way, May hasn't played as well in the postseason that he did in the regular season.
that's true.
So
is
he's
true.
kind of like he's doing enough because they have
He's adequate. They have a great team.
Yeah, they have a really good
decent
team
running
overall.
game. They have a decent running
They
game.
have an
too.
excellent running
You
game.
know, so
Yeah.
But I'm all over the Patriots. They're Jersey wise guys all over the Patriots, and I think at this point, the Seattle's gonna crush the Patriots in the Super Bowl. That's my. I hate to give my pick 3 weeks out, but
Right.
it's not the official pick yet. But
because we don't know injuries.
all kinds of things could happen.
Injuries could
All things could happen,
change all kinds of things.
Basically, I'm on New England and I'm on Seattle. I'm on the.
I can see
that's
that.
on that bandwagon. Now, the Jersey guy said both games he doesn't like. He just thinks like something is weird with the whole lines. He doesn't think the lines.
I think Vegas has respect for Sean Payton on these kind of moments.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it is. And he's home. And he's got an excellent defense, dude. They've got the best corner in the NFL playing right now. Pat Surtain is up for Defensive Player of the Year. Pat Surtain is the best. I was thinking about this. He's better than his dad.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen as much. Pat Surtain Jr. has turned out to be a better player than his dad, bro.
Maybe equal.
And
equal to
whoever lines up on that side is going to get shut down.
Mhm.
And so then that becomes a huge advantage for your defense. Anybody that, when we had Pat and Sam, you knew what kind of a advantage. Or when Dion was Dion, he would go to Dallas and then he'd go to San Francisco and it would change the complexion of the team.
Cuts
completely.
the field in half. You can't even throw that side.
Right, exactly. So when you have those kind of guys, the Rod Woodsons, the Ronnie Lotts of the world, when you have those kind of guys, they change everything. And Denver has a D line. And so all of a sudden, if you got that corner that can shut down their number one guy and you can control that running game, and then you've got a hell of a coach and Sean Payton that can, rise to the occasion. It's only one game. He can rise to the occasion and I think he'll survive against Seattle? No, but against New England, they're not the New England Patriots of old that were time and tested. You know what I'm saying? These guys are not tested.
But
so
you're
and they're on the road.
But you might be forgetting one fact. I think Vrabel,
excellent coach,
is an excellent coach
Yes.
and an excellent defensive coach.
Yes.
So you telling me? I was watching a conference, the press conference, and Vrabel was talking, and he never mentioned something, and he never mentioned about pressuring the guy that's got no experience.
Right.
I mean, come on, that's what's going to happen, and if anybody can devise some kind of scheme, it's going to be complicated pressures
For sure.
And then they'll go a simple pressure. Then they'll go another complicated one. They're gonna make the guy's head spin.
Yeah, I agree.
And because the game's too fast. The game is just too
I agree.
fast.
You're 100% on that.
In the modern day. So I think Vrabel's going to have himself a little bit of a treat there,
right?
Setting up that defense and.
But
so
that's why you obviously think that they're the favorites. But when you look at Denver, and I know he's got Jarrett Stidham, a Sean Payton, I would not. This is the guy that called an onside and to start the third quarter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, he's the real deal.
This guy just does some shit, and he'll pull some shit out that you just like, okay.
It's a good segue. It's a good segue. Before we go to the segue, though, it's a great segue. You get what you pay for in coaching.
Yes.
So the Giants got a good coach.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, what have I been saying for a year? Proven commodities.
Yeah.
First of all, they've coached in the NFL.
Yeah.
Second of all, they've won the big game in the NFL.
Yeah.
They've won a lot of other games in the NFL. Now, can I just cry on your shoulder for a moment?
Go ahead.
I'm sure you've been doing it on your show, and everybody in Miami's doing it. But what did we get as a Dolphins coach?
I think we got a new start, a fresh start, because we got the GM and the coach on the same page. I think. Listen, will it succeed, Steve? I don't know.
Not even close. Here's what I think is going to happen. Here's what we got. We got an on-the-job training guy. Okay.
Okay.
He has head coach. He's been a head coach at Boston College.
Right.
His record is 22-25.
During
if we're being kind, he's average.
During COVID, I got to give him.
Everybody had COVID though.
No, but COVID, Boston College.
Oh yeah, but we higher
you
COVID up
know,
there. Massachusetts, everybody was.
Yeah,
but
man.
but wait, 25, 22 and 25 it's more than 1 year.
It's
That's
like
four-
it's 3 years. Yeah,
but
I
college
actually-
teams did win.
when
There were
at first I was like you, like I wasn't that impressed with it. But then when I thought about COVID, it was the worst time for him to become he becomes a head coach 3 weeks later, COVID hits. He talked about it in the press conference.
So now you add into my thing. He's got bad luck. So okay, so all right, so and he's our coach. All right, so that's point one. That's point one. The record. Point two, bad luck. Right. Point three is he basically is hired by his. He goes to
his friend.
He's hired by his buddy.
Yes.
I mean, this is my buddy Tony, my best friend
But you
Tony.
hi-
if
but
he
you hi-
was a GM, I guess he'd hire me, right?
You hired the devil you know, not the devil you don't know.
I know, but
they have the same philosophy, doggy. They think alike because they come from the same place. So you need that. You can't.
That's on the positive side.
So let me explain something. So you hire Brian Flores, and then when you hire Brian Flores, you intend on tanking. But somehow or another, Brian Flores doesn't know about tanking. So then you're not on the same page. And whether it's true or not that he offered him $100,000 for every loss, okay? The bottom line is you were supposed to, before you even hired him, you should have said, hey, by the way, we're going to hire you. We're going to give you a 5-year contract. But I want this year to be the worst year of your life and lose every damn game because I want to get Joe Burrow.
Can I give you my opinion on that one?
So what I'm saying is, at least we have gotten people, whether it's Spielman and Wanstead fighting, whether it's Ireland and Sperano and Philbin and all the infighting and all that we've had, it's gone now.
Okay,
now
but-
you hired synergy, whether it works or not. I don't know, but at least I'm willing to give it a chance.
I'm just stating in advance.
No, I get it.
That it's an on-the-job training.
It is.
By the way, back to the tanking. It's another example of what Stephen Ross just did last week. Apparently, he didn't offer Flores enough. Maybe if he offered him $1 million, he would have tanked, right? So Stephen Ross was cheap on hiring here, and he didn't offer him enough, right? So
You got a 5-year contract plus they're throwing in $100,000 per loss. I would have just said in Bitcoin. That's what I would have said.
If he offered 500, he probably would have thrown it. But anyhow, so that's my point. They're buying some bargain and they're keeping their fingers crossed. And some guy now let's talk about
But
Hafley.
Steve, they're in a position where they can't get the elite anymore. They're not an organization that is trusted.
That's
so
probably,
that
is the unfortunate of the that's the reality of everything.
Yeah, what Wayne
Miami.
used to do, he can't do. Wayne wined and dined and brought Jimmy. He even kept him for an extra year.
Is this like,
he won and dined
David Letterman where you're
Saban.
taller than me now?
My
Is this
ass,
Johnny Carson?
my ass
I
was
gotta
hurting.
stand up. I'm looking.
My ass was hurting. So I had to get
I
up.
think he was pulling a Johnny Carson, David Letterman on me.
So we've had that in the past, and now you've kind of eliminated that.
So all right. So now here's another thing. He's the defensive coordinator in Green Bay.
Yeah.
Right? This year, doing pretty good in the beginning of the year, and then falls apart.
Yeah, because the injuries, you lost all your guys. It's hard, man.
Okay, so didn't really do well as defensive coordinator this year.
I mean,
But
2
let's
years
hire
ago
a
when the
buddy.
Dolphins were in the playoffs and all their linebackers were AARP guys, did you think they were going to actually do anything?
All I'm saying,
You know what I'm
is,
saying?
I
Like the
think-
linebackers, you'd have picked them up from the street, and they were all like 47 years old each.
Let me tell you what happened.
And, you know,
so
it's just-
I talked to my buddy Tony. He sits in the club seat. They're expensive seats.
Yeah.
But, you buy a couple seats, it's $20,000, right? The guy that sits next to him, giving up his seats.
I don't blame
He
him.
says, you know what? It's just not worth it. It's going to be a year of Hafley trying to learn how to be a head coach,
Right.
and
2 years.
maybe in 2 years I'll come back and I'll buy tickets. I'm sure they'll be available, right? Think about what that's what to me. I think that's not in the concept of not doing the right thing. If your goal is to win,
Right.
But I don't think that's his goal. I think Stephen Ross's goals, his top 3 goals are not to win.
To make money
Let's
money
make
and look
money.
good.
Let's make money in concerts. Let's make money in the tennis thing.
Yeah.
Let's make money in the Formula One.
Yeah.
And let me do whatever the hell I want. And let's be cheap. Let me be cheap. That's 5 things. So now number 6 might be, if I win, that's kind of cool too.
Right.
But
But he gives out the money on football. It's just had the wrong people in place.
Anyhow, so that's Hafley. Let's segue off of Hafley.
All right, so what are we giving away?
Oh, that's a perfect segue. We're giving up, I might tell you, $250,000 every Saturday down in January. And then
I can use $250,000.
$250,000's nice. You know,
I can use
to win $250,000 on Saturday. This Saturday, and there's 3 more Saturdays here, or 2 more Saturdays. Now, in February, Cartier. I don't even know how to say it.
Cartier.
How do you say it?
Cartier.
Cartier, right? Cartier.
Cartier.
A pair, his and her watches, Cartiers, on the 14th. Could bring your honey out on February 14th. It's a Saturday night.
Valentine's.
And then on the last Saturday of February. So we're going to do it again. It's going to be you ever hear that commercial? It was up in Jersey. Did I tell you I'm from Jersey? I don't know if I mentioned it. Yeah, up in Jersey, they had a place called Great Adventure.
Oh, yeah. I went to it.
And they had this roller coaster, and it went up, and the advertising one, it went like this.
Is that place still open?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It went forward and up and looped, and then it stopped. And this, when you thought it was over, they do it again backwards.
Yeah.
Right? It was a great commercial. So we're doing the same thing. Just when you think that the watches are over, we're doing it again on the last Saturday of the
We would
of
go
the
to the
month.
Great Adventures every summer when I went to Jersey.
You're like a Jersey guy at heart.
Well, I mean, I spent 4 summers there.
In Passaic.
Passaic.
You know,
No, Passaic, Monticello, and Deer Park, Rhode Island.
Oh, Monticello, New York, too.
Yeah, Monticello, upstate.
Oh, yeah, upstate.
My cousins
that's
were
nice up there.
My cousins, oh, God, Monticello's nice.
Very nice.
You know what's super nice? Deer Park, Rhode Island is super nice and clean. I don't know. Does anybody still, does
anybody live in Rhode Island?
I'm 50, I'm 59, so this was 50 years ago because I was like 9, 10, 11, 12 or something like that in those days. So from what I remember, Deer Park, Rhode Island, I don't know if anybody's from there or still was there recently or something. It was really nice and clean, dude. And my favorite part about it was those sons of bitches had cable before everybody else.
Rhode Island's got some money. It's like an expansion of Connecticut, a lot of money in Connecticut.
I'm sitting there as a kid going, what is this? All these channels and all that. This is like early 80s, like 80 or 79 or 81 or something like that. And they had cable in Deer Park, Rhode Island.
Wow, that's big time. But the Passaic, I remember reading an article about it. The article goes like this, and this is the horrible river, and it's polluted, and it's unbelievable, and blah blah blah. All this like 3 paragraphs about how horrible Passaic River is, right? And then the guy says, and it was written in 1925. So he's reading to me this like 10 years ago, right? And it was written in 1925. So Passaic's been consistent. Yeah. It's been consistent for 100 years. Yeah. It's like, but it's an okay town.
It's not a bad town. I mean,
it's an okay town. A little blue collar.
That's what it was.
Blue collar.
That's what it was.
Believe me, I grew up in a town. I was born in Rahway, the hospital, not the prison. But that prison is very important. They had a big fight there. Hurricane Carter. That's where the fight was in prison. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I used to deliver the newspapers past the Rahway prison, right? And so, but I was born in the Rahway hospital. But then we moved a little further south, and I went to a town called Island. And believe me, you wouldn't live in Island. I can tell you that right now. It was an interesting town. Nice to grow up there, but you wouldn't. I have never heard anybody in the last 10 years say, "Oh, I'm moving to Island."
Yeah.
So
Louis says Great Adventures is in Jackson, New Jersey.
New Jersey, yes.
Near the Jersey Shore and the town I grew up in and went to high school.
Jackson. They have 2 high schools in Jackson now. They have Jackson Memorial and Jackson now. The town's getting much bigger. Much bigger.
It's grown.
Yeah, getting bigger, much bigger now. But at any rate,
all right.
One last thing to leave. And what are we giving away in poker? Come on. Poker we have $100,000 bad beat. We gave away $200,000 3 weeks ago. The action is unbelievable. Look at this. The high hand is $1,000 high hand as we're speaking today. As we're speaking right now. So I mean, if you're going to play poker in South Florida, it's kind of like it's become a no-brainer now. In the last 6 months since
and the loose slots downstairs. So if the ladies like the slots, they're going to like the loose slots downstairs.
We got the slots downstairs. We got a whole new poker room here. We have a new director, Ty Jenkins, his right-hand man, Danny, and his other right-hand man, Harold. Although Harold should be very happy because he's going to get a good segue into this
Mendoza.
He's going to get Mendoza. So here's a Cuban NFL fan from Hialeah is going to get Fernando Mendoza on
I
his team.
I was predicting that they get Sean McDermott and Brian Dable becomes their offensive coordinator.
Oh, that would be fantastic. That would be unbelievable.
Yeah,
that's possible.
That's what I would do if I'm the Raiders.
That's possible
because Dable's available and McDermott's now available,
and
they're going to get a quarterback. And if I'm McDermott, that would be a spot that I would go to right now because the Raiders haven't gotten their guy yet.
It's great for McDermott too because he lays it all on Dable to make sure that Fernando can be an NFL quarterback.
Right.
So
and Dable did a good job with Josh Allen.
With Josh Allen,
because Ken Dorsey's the one that screwed up with Josh Allen. They had to get rid of him, and then they brought in Joe Brady, who then got Josh Allen back on track again.
Yeah, so that's a good one. So there's all good scenarios except for Miami, but you're at least you're being positive. You're being positive.
It's not that I'm being positive. It's that none of us really know if they're going to succeed or not. Lots of young coaches succeed. We just happen to get the wrong ones that every time fail. But right, look, Mike McDonald is the coach for the Seattle Seahawks, dude. Yeah. The team you're bragging about. The guy's name, in fact, if I would have asked you the head coach, you would not have said Mike McDonald. You would have known.
No, I wouldn't have said it 3 weeks ago, but I would say it now. Yeah, 3 weeks ago, that would be an accurate statement.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. That would be an accurate statement.
We have to kind of give it a chance because, man, that's all we've got left is dumb luck.
Yeah.
All we've got left is dumb luck.
What about
there is no skill in that organization.
I'm going to send
for football.
I'm going to have it.
There's no skill.
His head's going to go off when I say this.
What?
If you had the choice, Ross calls you up and says, "Listen, I'm not going to hire. I'm down to Hafley or Mike McCarthy."
Oh, McCarthy.
Exactly. He's available.
Yeah, but I wonder if McCarthy wanted a little bit more input in the draft, and maybe Jon-Eric Sullivan wants to call the draft, or I don't know. Maybe those two guys don't like each other.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They know each other from Green Bay. I don't know.
Maybe,
but listen,
maybe
there's another thing I'm going to tell you. So this one I'm embarrassed about. I'm going to embarrass about my neighborhood I grew up in, but where I grew up, you don't have two first names, Jon-Eric, okay? Are you John or are you Eric? All right.
Well, serial killers usually have three names.
Yeah, okay, thank you very much.
Yeah,
right? And by the way, by the way, he misspells John too. You forgot an H. But anyhow, so I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan.
There wasn't enough money in the cap for the H.
There you go. Well, he doesn't have any money in the cap now.
Now he's got a broke ass cap now.
He thinks he was broke. He's really broke in Miami now. Yeah. But anyhow, let me get out of here before somebody from Miami comes and arrests me, and they'll rescind my season tickets. Take care, guys.
All right.
Thank you very much.
You got it, Steve. Thank you, my brother. Steve Calabro, baby. The General Mangler here at Hialeah Park. Wait, his and hers Cartier watches on the 14th and at the end of the month. That's a pretty good thing. All right, let me do a little music history. All right, let's go. What happened today in music history? Let's start off in 66, the year I was born. The Beatles' Day Tripper peaked at number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100 singles charts. In 66, again, on the year I was born, Nancy Sinatra entered the Billboard Hot 100 charts with what would be her biggest hit, These Boots Are Made for Walking, and that's what they're gonna do. These boots are made for walking, and they're gonna walk all over you. The tune went to number 1 the following month and would spend 14 weeks altogether on the singles charts. In 67, the Monkees performed live for the very first time at the Cow Palace in San Francisco to a sellout crowd. In 77, on this date, Wings went to number 1 on the U.S. album charts with Wings Over America, Paul McCartney's 6th U.S. number 1 after the Beatles. In 79, Sister Sledge released her 3rd studio album, We Are Family. The singles, He's the Greatest Answer, I Wonder Why. We Are Family, Lost in Music, and Thinking of You. In 83 on this date, The Clash peaked at number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100 singles charts with Rock the Casbah, which was the very first and only top 10 single in the U.S. They are so good. The Clash are so underrated. In 89, Metallica's first music video for One made its debut, running 7 minutes and 44 seconds. It incorporates footage from the 71 war movie, Johnny Got His Gun. In 2001, Low released their 5th studio album, Things We Lost in the Fire. It features the singles Dinosaur Act, Sunflower, and Laser Beam. In 2012, Adele broke an American chart record that has stood for years after being originally set by the Beatles and Pink Floyd. The singer's second album, 21, clocked up 16 weeks at number 1 on the U.S. charts, matching the success of the Titanic soundtrack. In 2016, Savages released their second studio album, Adore Life. It features the singles The Answer, Evil, Adore, and TIWYG. In 2018, Neil Diamond announced he would retire from concert touring after Parkinson's disease diagnosis. Let me see if there's any other birthdays that were left off in the other list. Nope. All there. And that's what happened today in music history. All right. So the picks, the wise guy goes with New England -5 and the Rams +2.5. Casino Steve, who is red hot, he went with New England -5 and Seattle -2.5. He goes with the favorites. We thank, of course, the great Sean Stanley, the man that masters his entire platform. We thank all of you for tuning in, hitting the like button, hit the notification bell. If you made a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo, or visit our amazing sponsors. We appreciate you however it is that you support our show. We shall see you tomorrow morning. Same time, same place, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.